Alright, so I'm just chilling here doing some work on the computer, and someone was running past here, and I like looking at people when they're running. There's just something primal about it. I don't know if you've noticed, like when people are walking around, sure, yeah, it's just walking. But when they have to run suddenly, or looking at kids especially, when they're running, it's almost like suddenly now you have to really use your body. You have to allow your natural running anatomy to blossom, right? So as soon as people start running, you can really see if they're fit or not. Like fit people that are in touch with their bodies, that have good biomechanics, they just go into a beautiful stride, you know. Whereas people that are not that fit, or maybe they have some imbalances in their musculature or stuff like that, when they start running, it kind of looks weird, right? But regardless of how it looks, weird or good, when people run, there's a certain connection that occurs suddenly with your body. And this is one of the things that I really like about running. When I go out running, I enter this space of, it's like a more intimate space, where I'm more intimate with my own body. Sometimes looking at people running could be the most beautiful thing in the world for me. Like sometimes when I just look at like some of the best athletes in the world, you know, running track or whatever, and looking at a marathon or a half marathon road, just looking at the people running, especially the females. Obviously, I mean, I guess looking at the females, it sort of adds another aspect to the enjoyment for me. But just, yeah, for example, looking at the females running and the Kenyans and all, it's just like, wow, look at that, so beautiful. Art in motion. And when you couple that with like emotion, because you know the athlete and you're looking at how the race progresses and you want that athlete to win or whatever, then I can get really emotional, almost like I'll almost cry. Like it's interesting when I'm watching movies and stuff like that, looking at sad things, I don't typically cry. But if I'm looking at something where it's like, oh wow, like the human, the greatness, the earth, the wonders, you know, that sort of thing, something like really awe-inspiring, that's when I get tears coming on, and that's when I feel the need to cry. Or talking to someone about running, or looking at a 10,000 meter on the track, and hearing the commentators go like, oh my god, Mo Farah is coming up, and in that situation, I'm getting chills just saying it. That's when I get really emotional. So anyway, yeah, there was just a person running past here, and she looked great when she was running, and I was just like, wow, like, you know, she's just walking around there usually, and suddenly she just ran past just to quickly get to the car. They were leaving, and in that brief moment, it was almost like, bam, she was an animal. Like, you know, like we are animals, obviously, but it's like almost like in everyday life with all our clothing and our moving around, you know, just walking around, doing things, normal things. It's almost like we forget a little bit, and we almost fall into this, I don't know. There's just something that happens when suddenly when you run, bam, there's the animal, you know, there it is. Same goes for like crazy feasts, when you're like eating fruit, especially when you're eating like a mango, and you're just like, whoa, whoa. Suddenly it's like for a moment there you realize, I'm an animal, you know, it's primal. Same goes for sex, same goes for any kind of, you know, active movement, lifting weights, deadlifting, and just like grunting as you lift it up. I like, that's, you know, that's an important part of life, having that sort of primal connection where you're not just being civilized, you're not just being doing all the things that you're conditioned to do and being a good human, but actually being a human, you know, like the animal, running, lifting things, eating like an ape, you know, like the primate that you are. Anyway, just a little quick video about that. I just wanted to share. Tell me in the comments what gets you emotional, what inspires you. Do you get inspired when you see people running? And I want to encourage you also that if you haven't got anything like this in your life, if your life is pretty normal and you want to spice it up, go running. Seriously, just get out there and go running. And if you finish up that run with a meal of fruit, preferably, you know, something juicy like a mango or something, and you just eat it with your hands, the combination of that movement, running, and then following it up with like a delicious meal of fruit, that combination is just like, oh, it gets you so alive, you know. It's just wonderful. People think sometimes, oh, isn't it boring to eat fruit? Isn't it, you know, and isn't it boring to run? Oh, so monotone. What? It's the exact opposite. Being out there running, I'm so alive, so in touch with my body. I'm so like invigorated, full of life. And then I come home and I shove my face with fruit, and it's just like delicious and ecstatic and just like, oh my god, so good. Especially if the fruit is good. And then I just sit there afterwards in like a satisfaction state. And then I get on the computer and start working again, and that's great too. I like that too. But that's another part of being human. It's not as primal as running. Anyway, all those thoughts just came at me just because I saw that girl running for like 3 seconds. Anyway, hope your day is going well. Comment down below what you think about what I just said. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. I'm looking forward to sharing more videos with you guys here from La Palma. Hope you're having a good day. See you around.